All right, guys, welcome to Tuesday, August 16th pre-recorded Zoom. Immediately following what we were predicting on Friday, we were essentially going to play off of a potential order flow disruption based on a previous POI. But of course, because our intraday structure is taken, we would need some sort of transition. And in terms of transitions, there is only one sort of clear sign, which was late late London, which would have been the transition of potential reversal. However, it is backed by here, so the only reasonable play would have been order flow disruption into a potential POI. But just something that we have covered before is if we do not get the reaction immediately after the POI, you would then need another type of conversion here to then justify a bearish scenario. So if you're being extremely conservative in this scenario, it's very hard to justify any type of bearish transition. On top of that, we did have the change of character here. However, that change of character, was essentially inefficiency left over, and that's what carried us on forward. So from a continuation standpoint, there is no real justification for a bearish sense, and as I said, if you were to play the POI, which this here makes a lot of sense, this move here would have needed to hit the POI. If not, that just shows that there wasn't real validity here. So as soon as we do that reaction, you can see that the confirmed scalp range, once that is broken, that means that is a continuation BOS to the upside, meaning this low is solidified. So from low, solidified low into high, which is solidified there and there, there is no true justification for that bearish bias. And that immediately corresponds to or correlates to our EURUSD bias, where, let me take this off, where we were looking for a potential bullish continuation, but just with just like DXY, there was nothing in the POI that gave you a sign of conversion. It was only after the POI, but even after the POI, this here, if you're looking at continuation BOS, you're looking at solidification of the low into the high. So realistically, I would have wanted to sell up here. It does not necessarily make sense for me to try to buy here, because there's no essential anything justifying it, and the reason why that's important here in comparison to DXY is with EU, you can see very clear low that goes into the high, and that is now taken out. So once that is taken out, it's time to essentially regroup and really analyze what is going on from a minor major intraday stance. As I said here, a previous low was taken. So because this is happening, we now have to jump back out, and really analyze what is going on, because we did point out that we tapped structure previously. We tapped structure on swing structure continuation, that tap led to obviously continuation BOS, the internal structure, because that has now taken out preliminary structure here and here. I am now more so keen on justifying more bearish scenarios and bullish scenarios. So as of now, this is being taken out here, and I am more so looking to see if we can get more of a equilibrium. I don't know if we'll actually reach more of a premium here, but however, now my bias is more so bearish. As you can see, there really is no POI down here. You can try to justify a wick here. However, this would technically be picking a low because we are swing bearish and our major and minor intraday structure would have been taken out. So trying to pick a low here, you would need proper justification. So yeah, as of now, that's kind of converted. This one does not look as bearish as this. This one does not look as bullish, as this looks bearish. And the reason why I say that is because we only took liquidity out. Like we said, we were looking for the justification of a bearish scenario here, which we did not get. But we are also looking into what happens after liquidity has been met. The liquidity has been met, right? So let me actually take this out, take that out. So as of now, from a directional bias, right, eliminating these types of moves, what has occurred now is, right, a bullish liquidity grab, meaning, right, that even though we did not take out the entire high, the narrative is considered bullish, at least from a major intraday stance, or at least a minor intraday stance. I'm sorry. The major intraday stance here is a bit uncertain. However, we did not necessarily clear all of relative equal highs here, so we still have potential liquidity sitting right up here. So as of now, we really have to be, you know, a bit alert, seeing what happens, right? Because as you can see, the minor intraday is technically bearish after we've taken that continuation BOS out. So as of now, because of strong momentum, this is technically bearish, at least for the short term. So as of now, technically this also up here makes sense, more of a premium into, right, more of a discount from the overall range. So as of now, I do want to see what happens once we come back here, and the reason why this is standing out to me, right, this looks like a bit of a turbulence point from a minor intraday stance, and from more of a major intraday stance, there is technically a pause here, whether that be structure, potential SC here. This looks very valid. So yeah, as of now, let's see if this will give any type of retracement. But if we do get a bounce here and we start getting a proper reaction, then we can realistically start aiming for a previous high, and that's a pretty big move. This is about 3-point move. And with EU, let's say we are to reach a potential move down here, you're looking at 300 pips. You're also looking at, right, 350 pips, depending on how high we go. But as of now, it really does look like we have converted and we have shown our hand more to the bias of our swing structure. So yes, we did get it wrong on Friday, but that's all good because we play based on what price gives us, not necessarily what we want. And finally, AU, right, I don't think I covered this. Right, we were looking for, right, as we did with the EURUSD, the immediate continuation, seeing if we could get some type of bounce here. And as you can see, right, nothing clear, nothing that's showing us intent to want to go higher. No type of structure points were taken. If anything, if you were trying to play this POI, you could have played a bounce here into the continuation downward, and you could only play the bullish scenario only if, you know, you are to see, right, any type of bullish conversion. So you can see, right, a continuation BOS, but this, excuse me, is not enough, because we know that what a continuation BOS really does is just solidify the range. So from a scalp, we're looking at low, high, and then whatever happens here is really just a continuation to the downside. So now from a bias perspective, I also do want to say this one's a bit more towards the bearish side now. However, right, the reason why I'm kind of leaning towards that was because this area was relatively important, right? That POI was going to really dictate whether we were going to continue higher or not, and obviously we aren't. So so as of now, high has been taken, right, into our low has been taken, right, our swing structure has been met. And if you even want to try to correlate a 50% SC here, not the prettiest thing ever, but if we are to highlight that, right? The POI was not broken through, even though we do know that there is a potential open 50% potential liquidity grab of that to be potentially played. So as of now, it does look like we do want to continue based on our swing structure. Where is this? Right, we are looking more towards that. And depending how far we go, right, we are looking at potentially tapping structure. That would be most likely ideal, or we could even meet back at this previous structure point, because this was a previous POI, and if you do study those, they could usually be good moments as to where price will convert, right? So even though we did not convert upwards, right, we could break through and convert downwards. So yeah, let's just wait and see for that. But yeah, my bias is more so lenient on that bullish bias from DXY now. I don't necessarily see why we should continue lower, only unless we do break through this POI, because then you can realistically argue, right, a potential bearish liquidity grab, and you could argue that as well. But that cannot happen unless we break through a potential POI here. So with that being said, let's wait for Friday, and I'll see you guys then.